All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to ELLEvate Afrobeat Music Talk Radio. I'm Sean Williams, aka Mr. President, the President of Toronto, and you're listening to the Safe Room, a safe space for entrepreneurs, business owners, artists, creatives here in Toronto to share their personal and professional stories. And today, man, we got a heavy hitter of a guest today. Listen, we have to show some love to this individual because for those who have been long life listeners, fans of Love Bay Radio, you might recognize this face. You're like, wait a second, Sean, I know that face from somewhere. This wonderful lady here, she used to be the host of the Voice of Millennial show. So I had to get her back on for the safe room. And now let me tell you about this lovely individual, author, spoken word music artist, creative producer, speaker. I feel like we should just keep going. Listen, if you heard about Rise Edutainment, if you heard about PDA Global Media, if you heard about our Crib Uncut, she's doing everything right now. She's everywhere. She's putting Scarborough on the map. She's repping Scarborough too. Repping Scarborough in the building, ladies and gentlemen. We have the one, the only, and I'm excited to have her back because it's been too long since we talked. So we had to get her back on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Elle de Lyon, aka Elle the Lion. Elle, how's it going?
Blessings, 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 Sean. Thank you so much for that amazing introduction. I appreciate you. And yes, thank you. This is such a big full circle moment. I'm incredibly honored to be here today, feeling super privileged to be on this side. And I appreciate you for bringing me back on. Shout out to Love Bay Online Radio. Y'all are family. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. It's like I mentioned, it's been too long. It's been too long. It's been too long. So our last conversation was back in 2021. And like you mentioned, it's a full circle moment. A lot has happened for you. And I'm super excited to talk about all the amazing things you've done so far and the things you're continuing to do. So I'm super excited for that. And like you mentioned, being part of the Love Bay family before, just it is a full circle moment. So like I'm happy for you to be here with us as a guest.
Thank you. I appreciate you asking me. I've been looking forward to this all month long. Yeah, it's really different to be on this side. I have no idea what you're going to ask me. I know a little bit about where we might go, and I have to talk about me instead of everyone else. So, ah, but I'm excited. I'm excited to do this. And thank you for asking me again to do this. I'm really
Of
excited.
course, of course. Listen, we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna have a good time. It's
Yeah,
gonna be
see the
you and
show. Last
I.
week was
So I mean,
dope. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so listen, Elle's up to the protocol. She knows exactly what's gonna go down. So it is what it is. All right. Before we get into all the main questions and everything like that, we have to start out with our opening segment, the hot seat. Now, I
Yeah.
believe this is the first time I'm doing the hot seat with you because back in 2021, this was not a thing. So I'm looking forward
Yeah.
to this portion right here. So let's get right into it. So, Elle, I have 4 questions and I'm just going to ask them and I want you to answer them to your best ability. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Sounds good. So, question number 1. So, outside the work that you do, which it's a lot, again, we could sit here for another hour, talk about some of the amazing
We'll
stuff you
get through
do, but
some of it today, I think. Maybe. We'll see.
yeah. So, outside of the work that you've done, tell me something about yourself in one sentence.
Hmm. I am in both the softest and most ruthless era of my life.
Oh man, that's deep. That's deep. I should have gave a disclaimer to everyone listening. Elle's about to be coming with the bars, the wordplay. Like it's about to be hitting different. So I mean, I need you to elaborate on that because like I know for some
Okay.
people they'll be like, hold up, like what was Elle talking about? Like for real. So maybe you want to expand a little bit more onto that statement.
I appreciate this opportunity. So there is a quote. I don't know if it's by Minnie Riperton, but there is this amazing graphic of her sitting beside a lion, Minnie Riperton. Please look her up. She's an iconic singer, and like part of the era of music that I really, really love and inspires me. And so she's sitting beside this like huge lion in like just like a regular chair, right? And she's just sitting there patting the lion. And then there's that quote that says, I am in both the most softest and most ruthless era of my life. And for me, I believe that that's true, not only because of the visuals, you know, everyone plays on my last name. I do too. It's de Lyon. And thank you so much, Sean, for saying it the way that I think it's meant to be said. But the lion, I've embraced it. And so seeing that visual just reminded me that while I'm going after everything, as you said, like I'm out for everything. I'm trying to put Scarborough on the map. Shout out to the zoo gang. This is where I'm from. And so, you know, that's where the Scarborough Zoo is. Y'all know. Anyway, so that being said, I believe that honestly, I'm like an animal when it comes to getting what I want and going after it with like ferocity at the same time. I'm for the community. I'm for the community. I'm about building peace and love, and that's the way that I want to get the things that I want. I'm for world peace, and so I'm trying to do it that way, soft and ruthless at the same time.
I love that. I love that duality in between. It's like, like I'm a go-getter, but at the same time, I'm trying to give back to my community. And listen, I know about you, Scarborough folks. When y'all touch down anywhere, it's a whole section. Listen, like I feel
Thank
like
you.
for
It's like a
me,
zoo for real. Like it makes sense why the zoo is right there. That's where I grew up. And shout out to the zoo gang. They gave me this shirt. One of the artists that I support. So
I respect that. Honestly, I feel like the North York people have to stand up. Listen, I'm from Jane and Wilson, so listen, guys, we need to step up too. Listen, I love y'all Scarborough folk, but it's like, come on, man, we gotta bring that same energy. Like we
yeah.
have to.
I think what we need to show everyone how to bring that energy. So you're right. Like we need to like have a Scarborough like workshop, like how to be Scarborough or something like that. And then like how to make that come in your community.
Yeah. I definitely would love to see a collaboration for that. That would be super dope.
Yes, Jane and Wilson, Scarborough link up. Let's make it happen.
Yes. Obviously, seeing Chanel in the comments, West End vibe. She already knows. She's holding it down for the West End. I respect it. I respect it. Okay, going on to the next question. So,
Mhm.
I want you to name a person that you met for the first time, and you couldn't believe it. You completely freaked out. Not in a way where it's like, oh my gosh, like I feared them, but it's like I can't believe I'm getting the chance to meet this person just because like I've seen what they've done and it's just an honor. It's like who was that one individual that's like, man, like I can't believe I'm actually meeting them for the first time.
I love where did you get these questions from? Are you just like, I'm like, yay,
I,
everything I wanted to talk about.
I'm
Okay,
just
so
warming up.
I love it, Sean. I'm so like, honestly, you also, I have to give you your flowers right now, sir, because you're just like incredible. I just love your consistency. You really inspire me. We'll talk more
Thank
about
you.
that later. But who did I meet recently? OMG. I had the opportunity to meet and greet and talk to and take a picture with and smell Issa Rae. Issa
Wow.
Rae, and she is like, I don't believe in idols. I do have inspirations. She is a huge one, but if there was something that was gonna like come close to being an idol, she would be it for me because she really inspired my entire journey. She made me feel okay to be an awkward Black girl way back in the day when nobody was saying that it was cool to be an awkward Black girl. She was saying that. She made it cool. She made an entire career out of it. And she's helping other people who look like me do the same thing. So, Issa, it was incredible to meet you. I think I was a little bit starstruck. I said some stupid stuff, I think, and I'm sorry if you ever watch this. I the thing that I said that was I don't know. She did a little like a little laugh, but also it was like a little eye roll, and I wasn't sure if she was just like, "Oh God, like come on," or if she was just like, "Yeah, girl." I'm not sure. I don't know. It's Issa. You don't know. You don't know. But I called her Mrs. President, and I told her she's the only president I recognize because she was the president in the Barbie movie. Okay, that's
I was about to say, because I'm like, the only president you recognize. I'm like, do you know who you're talking to right now? It's Mr. President. Like,
Oh,
no,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
joking. I'm joking. It's all good. Issa, listen, you want to
You're
take
right.
my title? That's cool. You can
Okay,
take
for
my title.
Issa, right? For Issa. And I'll give it right back because I don't think she wanted it. She was just like, okay, girl, you're done with the picture now, right? Bye.
I
I
feel
still love
you.
her though. I still love her.
Yes, 100%. But that I can only imagine just the emotions running in that moment. But I love how, like, even for yourself, you mentioned like you don't believe in idols, but like inspirations. Like I feel like I'm the type of person myself. If I were to meet someone like I really like inspire based on like their work, I wouldn't freak out. Like I feel like I'm very chill. I would just approach them and just introduce myself in the most calm and professional way where other folks will kind of like mark out like, oh my goodness, oh my god. And like there's nothing wrong with that. I think like for me, I'm just more calm and collective.
Yeah, I totally hear you on that. I believe I was calm and collected. Like I didn't like go like, oh my god, he's alright like that, but I don't know. I definitely wish that I chose a better line, I guess. I just wanted to impress her. Like, you just want that person to say more to you than just like hi and bye. Like, at the same time, she did shout out the outfits that my sister and I were wearing. So that
Yeah, I love that. And as you should, you want to come with a strong approach. I think that applies to any single person when you're meeting them for the first time or you're meeting them for the 1,000th time. You want to have that same consistency, that same strong mindset of approaching someone. So I think that's super important anyway. So going on to question number 3, I
Mhm.
want you to tell me an interesting fact that you rarely share about yourself.
Hmm. Hmm. Rarely share. There's so many. I mean, I do share this, but I do think it's rare. Like it's just like an opportunity like this might make it come up. I talk to myself all the time, like out loud, full conversations with me, myself, and I multiple times a day. Yeah, and I'll be,
Mm,
like, talking out, like, my whole plan, like, what I'm wanting to do, so I'll be like, "Oh, and then after, like, 6 o'clock, then I'll probably do that." Like, it's, like, almost like I'm having a conversation with I am having a conversation with me, yes.
that's
I would
fair.
say
Honestly, like I do the same thing. I do the exact same thing. Like I will like wake up and it's just kind of like, okay, so I gotta do this. And it's like this is in the back of my mind, and like, okay, so I need to do this. Then eventually I have to get to this checkpoint at this point. And I don't know what it is. Like I feel some people are 50-50. Some folks think like, oh, it's healthy to kind of speak those things out loud because maybe it helps you remember things easier or just makes you more focused, while other folks will be, bro, why are you talking to yourself? Like you're weird.
Yes, my
Like
mom
you're weird. And it's like
are you
I don't
talking
understand.
Yeah, but I'm glad, and thank you, Chanel, for also chiming in there. There are a few of us who do this, so I'm feeling less awkward now.
Yeah, and I feel like again, it's being open, if there's things that are kind of conjuring inside of you, you want those to be like let go. Like you don't want to just hold on to it. Like if you need to just say something out loud and say something out loud. Like I don't think you need to hold back or just refrain from saying nothing because you think, oh, it's weird. Like when I was young, I really used to talk to myself like all the time. People would look at me crazy. They're like, bro, who is this guy Sean talking to? But it's like this is me like every single day now, and people won't even look at me like, oh, it's like, okay, he's kind of like doing his own thing, but it's like it's
Yeah,
cool.
you turned it into, like, your hobby into, like, your whole entire career. That's incredible. I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah, definitely. You can see it in that way. I appreciate that.
Well, that's honestly, like, I like the talking to myself because I had a secret podcast in my car. Maybe that's something I don't share often too. I used to just like after a while, I was like, let's turn this talking to myself into something. First, it was kind of like therapeutic, and then it became like a real show that I would put on in the car. Like I would start it out, I would say, "This is the Car Chronicles. This is your girl, Elle de Lyon. Some call me Elle de Lyon." Like I would rehearse the whole thing, and I was talking to myself, and then I would like make the topic the what I was going through that day or
That's
what I had to, like you said, like what's coming up that day. I'm like, oh, and when I meet that person, I'm gonna say it like this. Like when I meet Issa Rae, definitely not gonna call her the president. Like, you know,
fair.
stuff like that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, going on to the final question for this hot seek segment. What is your personal safe room? So, what is a safe space? It could be physical, it could be mental, that allows you to be your authentic self.
I just love these questions, Sean. You've just asked every single thing I wanted to explain. But boom, we are here in my safe room. This what used to be my closet, and I thought it would be a great backdrop for today. Yes, these are the paddings that you usually put up for a studio. It is AKA my studio, a home studio space. So yeah, this is my safe room. Also, I just love small dark spaces. That might sound weird, but this is the place where I feel very safe to create and like say my most, deepest inner thoughts. And when I get to hear those out loud, I saw Chanel said it in the chat as well, that I get to validate myself. Like I'm not looking for validation from the world, actually. I was just looking for myself to say, like, yeah, you're dope. Do it. Do that idea. Go get it done. Go talk to that
Hmm.
person. Don't
Yeah,
call me the president. Okay, I'm done with that one. We're done now.
That's honestly, I love that, and I love how you brought us into your safe room for this conversation as well. I feel like it's very apparent that you've created this space so you can be open, especially being a spoken word musician and an artist. It's the best way of expressing yourself. Talking about your deeper inner thoughts. I think that's super important for anyone, regardless of whatever your occupation or your profession is. Sometimes we need to get to the inner root of ourselves to really blossom and grow from a mature standpoint.
Well said. Well said.
Yes, 100%, 100%. Okay, so that was the hot seat again. That was the little warm up. That was the
What?
warm up.
That was a
Now,
warm up. Whew. Boy, I'm glad I'm wearing a t-shirt.
yeah. And see, shit, I was like, we need a little 1-2 freestyle from the boot. Listen,
Oh, you right. Okay. Chanel, you're my heart right now. We gotta link up.
listen, Chanel, like for people who don't know, that's my twin. That's my twin sister. They
Oh,
always love in the chat and everything like that. I've been trying to tell her to get outside. I've told her about Rise and everything. I'm like, listen, you need to
I
link
know. How did
Rise.
I never you keep telling me that you have this twin sister? It's like I don't believe you, Sean. But now I see Chanel in the chat. Fine. Chanel, we gotta link up. Like, please, you see, we're friendly. Would love to meet you in real life. You seem
For
very
real, for real, for real.
Whoop.
It needs to happen. It needs to happen at some point. Yeah. So for those who are just tuning in, again, you're listening to the Safe Room here on Love Bay Radio. We're here with Miss Elle de Lyon, aka Elle de Lion. Whatever it wants to be, we're here for the vibes, for the energy, for the positivity. We're gonna be talking about Elle's incredible journey. But before we get into that, I do want to share this. I've been sharing this the last couple of weeks, but on July 12th, I will be co-hosting the Voice of the Millennials event, and I'm super excited for this because it's my first time really hosting like any event at this magnitude. So like in one way I'm kind of nervous, but I'm also excited. So like, expect nothing but good vibes. There's going to be speakers at the event as well, entertainment, food and beverages. You don't want to miss out. So again, July 12th at 2 p.m. It's going down, the Voice of the Millennials event. Make sure you guys stay tuned for that because it's going to be good. Again, if I'm hosting, it's about to be like a slapper. It's about to go crazy.
It's gonna be good.
It's gonna be good for sure. So again, the Voice of Millennials event, July 12th. Stay tuned for that. Anyway, let's get back to you, Elle, because like that's what we're focused on. You're the MVP for this conversation. We want to focus on you. So you carry a very strong reputation. Like I mentioned, you do like so much. And like I just have to give a round of applause because I don't know how you do it. Like I really don't know how you do it, how you're able to juggle all these different things on your plate and still handle it like a boss. So you've been able to do so much. So my question is not rather how or where you got started with everything, but why did you feel it was important to, walk down this path and build the story that you're continuing to build as you go?
So for me, I really believe in living, like a lot of people will say living with purpose, like to find your purpose and then to live that. And, hopefully your purpose can be what you're passionate about. For me, I love all of those things. And I also believe that my reason for being here is to live on purpose. So not only with purpose, but on purpose. And so it's really about defining your destiny with the things that are around you. That's been kind of the running theme of my life, is being someone who's incredibly good at making lemonade. Like I just look for solutions. It's really important for me to also give that gift to other people, because as I mentioned earlier, I'm out for world peace. I'm not joking about that. Like that is my ultimate mission, and I'm just going to live on purpose with that purpose until I perish. And my reason for doing that is because who does not want a more peaceful world? I am not a proponent of war. I don't enjoy it. I do not enjoy conflict. I learn from conflict, but wherever I can, I try to apply the learning so that we don't run into those same conflicts again. I also really believe in making mistakes, but making new mistakes only. So once I learn, I don't want to go back to that place. And I just see that our world is like this cycle of things that we already seem to know will bring us harm and negativity, but a lot of us are still running towards it. And I think it's just because of what it feels familiar, but it doesn't mean that that's what's good for us. And so I'm just really out for just seeing how it would be to go for a more peaceful world. Like if there's more of us going for peace. And I know that in order for anyone to join this whole peace brigade, they're going to need to see it in action. They're going to need to see that it works. And so I am fine to be that example. I was always told as a child, I was like a big class clown, big disruptor, always a disruptor, rebel at that time without a cause. And one of the things I was always told, or like people recognized in me, is that, oh, you are a leader. And to lead people to do positive things. That was what the teachers wanted me to do. I wanted to do what I wanted to do. I just wanted to have fun and see, I don't know, just see what happens when I do stuff. And now I just, as I said, I have a purpose and I'm living on purpose. And so I don't just want to see what happens when I do stuff. Like I want to see what happens when I put all my energy into building peace in just peaceful situations. I grew up in a really chaotic lifestyle. And so I just want the opposite of that. Like I said, I'm soft. I'm in my soft girl era, but I'm going after it with all the veracity that I can.
I love that. I absolutely love that. And I feel like for some folks, like peace looks completely different to how others think. And I think the work that you're doing definitely represents that destiny to world peace. Because I think everyone assumes when it's like world peace, it needs to be this world monumental like event that needs to like shift the entire landscape. But sometimes the biggest amount of change is doing the little things. It's those little things within our communities that are giving people a space to express themselves or get access to certain resources that you couldn't find. I'm someone who believes like in not gatekeeping, and I feel like for a lot of folks, like when it comes to having access to certain things, they get very just self-absorbed. It's like, oh, I don't want anyone else to have it because like it's just me. It should be me, me, me. But at the same time, we need to be more open. Like at the same time, what's so wrong if we can't get to that top of the mountain together? Like what's really the negative? It's like, oh, if it's 10 of us getting there, great. But it's like, no, it has to be just me, myself. It's like, but why? Like, it's like, why do you have to go through those lengths and go through those challenges? So I think for you, seeing just how much you've done so much and you continue to live on purpose, again, not living with purpose, but living on purpose. I love that because it really strikes hard to just who you are and how you're not going to like change or sacrifice any parts of you to get to that goal. And I think that's such a strong sentiment.
And I love what you said at the end there. I would say that I have sacrificed parts of me, because I know that you mentioned like where did it all start and kind of come from for me? And it came because I was in this very chaotic place. I was very angry. I got bullied a lot, not only by other students, but also teachers and people who were in charge of me, family members. I just always seemed to be at like the butt of everybody's like joke. And so I started making jokes on other people, like, because hurt people hurt people. And so while I was like getting so hurt, really in my formative years, I would say before the age of 6 is where I experienced like so much pain. And I didn't have a lot of people that I could count on, that you're supposed to be able to count on. And so I really had to find the strength inside. And at first that came out like just like you would think, like if a lion is being like hit and teased and, you know, withheld things that it needs to survive, it will become defensive. I was very defensive. If you can believe it, I was a bully. If you can believe it, like I was the one causing chaos on purpose, as I said, like even chaotic things that now I'm just like, like why would I ever do that? Like vandalism, getting banned from like my school property, suspended, you know, almost going to you know, getting in trouble with the law, I'll say. Like, and somehow making it out of those things to somehow still, you know, finish university and make my parents proud in that way, but still feeling that pressure to perform and be perfect. And so I have sacrificed a lot. Like I've had to let go of those people that I was in the past because those people were not serving me. That mindset was not serving me. It as soon as when I let go of those thoughts and like being defensive and believing that everybody was out to get me, I started to see the opportunities in the opposition. A lot of people talk about the ops, like what's opposing them. I saw almost everything as an opposition. And then when I started to see it as an opportunity, it just started to open up for me. And I had to sacrifice that old mindset to get here.
Yeah, definitely. And we all go through that type of journey. You know, everyone assumes that everyone doesn't go through that, or it's the matter of you have to be in the right situation. And even when people are in the right situation, they still have to go through some type of turmoil and trial and tribulation within our lives. So, like, regardless, it's when we realize that if something's not right, when do we pivot and make the change, make the switch? And I really appreciate you for even getting as vulnerable, sharing just like, yeah, I was getting in trouble with the law. Like, I was like doing such bad things at the time being that it wasn't healthy for me. And, you know, being around that circle of folks, it just kind of corrupt my mindset. So I had to do something different. I appreciate that because, again, for a lot of folks, it's hard for them to even open on something like that, to even speak on those little things. We had a guest last week and he talked about like he got in trouble and he went to jail, but eventually he like changed his mindset and now he's kind of viewing how the work he's doing, it's like I'm doing God's work. So I love how for you made that switch, and it's an inspiration to anyone listening to this conversation right now that just because you're in a dark place right now doesn't mean you're going to be there forever. It can only get better and it can only be a brighter future.
Yeah, I really love that you said that because that's truly, you know, there was a quote that I saw the other day that sometimes people can inspire you to be nothing like them. And that is what I started to realize is that, you know, for a long time, like I said, I was very angry about my environment, angry about the things I didn't have. You know, my parents were working all the time. They could, like, I was at, well, babysitters, but I was at family members' houses that just didn't treat me very well. And I had to be there all the time because my parents needed to work. And, you know, essentially, like, yeah, experience a lot of abuse at these places that I had to be at. And I think that it was eventually when I started to realize that I didn't have to become a product of my environment just because I was born into it, that I did have the power to elevate myself over these situations if I change my mindset. That was the first thing that had to change so that I could start to see what was available to me to change my life.
I love that. Absolutely love that. Okay. I want to get on to the next question because, again, we have to talk about the stuff that you're doing right now. And like I mentioned at the beginning, guys, it's a lot. Listen, again, you've worked with Rise. Shout out to Rise all day. Rise, that's family. That's family out there. Shout out to Rise. You do work with PDA Global, Madewell Productions, Our Crib Uncut. I see all the amazing stuff you're doing there for our Crib Uncut. again, that's just to name a few. Like, I'm pretty sure there might be some other things you have tucked in the bag that I may not know of. So I mean, again, it's amazing. A little sneak, a little snippet and everything like that. So I just want you to. It's like a 2-for-1 question. So quickly, if you could share on like each experience, just being part of Rise, PDA Global, Madewell Productions, our Crib Uncut, for our lovely audience. Just share a bit what you're doing for each part. And my second question: how did every experience add a bit more of value to your artistic and professional portfolio?
So the good thing about this question and how I'm going to respond is that as you said, I'm a storyteller. Like, I love telling stories or finding a way to string everything together to make it make sense. And how this story really makes sense for me, I got to start it back 13 years ago when I was invited to come out and participate as an audience member at Rise. At that time, it was a very small gathering, probably less than 20 people. And we were just in a small youth center that was tucked away in the Scarborough Town Center. Like, they had this little youth center there. And I used to volunteer there. I used to like help out younger kids. I would tutor them and stuff like that. That's when I found my way after all the issues with the law. And I realized, like, girl, you want to go to jail? And I was like, how about no? Like, I'm almost 18. Let me not do this. So anyways, I walk into Rise, and immediately I feel that this is the place for me to be, because everybody is speaking up. It's like they're reading from their diary, and I'm a big writer, like big journal writer. So it just felt like, wow, this is the place I could actually say my real thoughts, like not have to put up this front to be tough, to try to impress people that I don't even like, and that I don't want to be anything like. So why am I trying to impress them? And so walking into that space, it felt very much like what you are creating, a safe space. And I never heard people talk like that before that looked like me, that were like my age. So it was the first time that I felt like, whoa, I just want to sit down and shut up. And that wasn't me. Like, as I said, I'm like the big disruptor. I go first. I'm the one who's raising my hand or not raising my hand and saying whatever I want. And that was the first place where I didn't feel like that. And I didn't feel like it was because somebody was telling me not to talk. It was because I actually wanted to listen. And I think that listening is a very huge life skill. It's coming in more and more in school, that active listening and how important it is. But at that time, it wasn't as important. And so when I heard young people like me who look like me talking about that, I was like, yeah, I think this is where I should stay. From that day, I just kept on going. I just kept showing up, whether or not I felt good or great or bad or sad. It was always a place that could help me to do what I do now, which is live like a lion. And I lift, you and other people out of negativity with my words. And so they were really big on your words being your vehicle, like self-expression being that tool that you can use to free yourself. And I truly was liberated back then. And I didn't fully implement every single thing that I was being taught, but the more I showed up, the more I learned, the more I could implement. And I started to feel like I was in charge of my own destiny. I didn't share a lot when it came to like my art, but I was writing, I was painting, I was drawing, I was connecting with a lot of people in the community. And I didn't feel the need to be front and center anymore. I was just fine with being in the audience. It felt good. And then I just wanted to learn, how could I help them keep it going? That led me to, because I was already working in the community doing programs for youth. And so I was like, hey, I can help, like, give my skills. This seems like a youth program, actually, like an art youth program. And I really wanted to have my own not-for-profit. That was a big thing that I wanted to do, because I really wanted to help youth that were just like me to not run into the same issues that I ran into. Like, hopefully you don't get like banned from school and suspended, almost expelled, stuff like that. Like, I didn't want people to do what I did. So I wanted to help people who were trying to promote peace. And that was the people I found at Rise. From there, maybe 8 years later of going there, like whenever I could, and volunteering for their events, Randall, Ajay, the founder, he saw something in me because I started my own events company. As I said, I really wanted to build my own initiatives and stuff like that. Was inspired by Rise and the work that I was doing, what I studied in school. It all came together. I was like starting Madewell. So I co-founded that with my sister. Everyone thinks we're twins, but we're not. Shout out Anastasia. Um, we're unofficial twins. And so we started this business together. We had been doing it informally for years. And then finally we brought our skills together, and Rise was our first client, and still our client 5 years later, and our biggest client. And honestly, my favorite. Sorry, everybody else. And so we work with them. We are their event and project management team. And then eventually, when they became a not-for-profit, they were able to bring us in as I'm now the program director and Anastasia is the program manager. And we still lend our skills, whenever we can, outside of the budgets that they may have and stuff like that. We still offer our services to them and just make every event made well. From there, that led me to realize that yes, I definitely wanted to do events, definitely wanted to manage projects. But as I was working with artists and working to make all of these amazing showcases, the fire that was in me that never died just ignited even bigger. And it was like, girl, you know that you have so much writing. Like all you do is write poetry and songs and stuff like that, and you don't share them. And I want you to share them. So I started my secret podcast in my car. And that really led me to start validating myself. So glad you said that, Chanel, because I really didn't know why I was really talking to myself like that. But so I started just validating myself, validating my plans, taking my plans out of my head, putting them on paper, but also putting them to purpose, as I said, because I used to write a lot, but I wouldn't put everything into action. And I just started realizing that I had to put things into action. A friend of mine passed away, a friend I met at Rise actually, and who inspired me to finally bring my art out and like do things on the stage, etc., and draw all these amazing things. Shout out to JV. And so when he passed away in 2019, and also Rise asked us to be a part of their team officially, it just signaled to me that everything that I had talked about with him was like owning. He had his own not-for-profit. Like he inspired me to do the same thing and start my own business. And like, even though I was working with Rise, like saying that, hey, you should do your own thing too. And so all of that inspired me to keep going with being an entrepreneur. And that's something that Rise really pushes as well. Like we're all about creative, sustainable living, how to show people how to come from emerging art to becoming professional and established, getting paid. And so I really dedicated my life to that. I really think I was inspired again by a situation that most people might not gain inspiration from, which is death and grief. It took me a long time to get out of that grieving place. I'm not going to lie, like years, but I would say that in the last 2 years, I really have dedicated myself to um, getting my art out on stage. And so there came PDA Global Media. That was born from a mentor suggesting to me that in order for me to produce my own films and my own screenplays, which I did do, that's maybe something that you didn't know. And so that's what started everything. I was like producing these screenplays and films, and I needed my own company to do that. And so I made PDA Global Media. My intention was that we're going to share stories like mine from marginalized people, and here we go. And then here comes Our Crib Uncut. That was like an offer where it was like, hey, you have this interest in media and you want to help people who are marginalized creatives. You love hosting, because at that time I was hosting the Rise open mic. And my co-founder, Alliston Davis, he was working at Afrowave at the time, and he was like, hey, I think we should do this show. Like he was like, I think we should make our own show and we should promote music artists because we're doing it anyways. And I was like, yes, I've been practicing my own show for only 6 years now. I'm like, yes, I've been waiting for this moment. And then boom, Archive Uncut. I just said yes, like to every single opportunity when it came to my mind. I'm like, I'm doing this. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. And then I just found a way to do it. Had no idea, honestly, all the time how I was going to make anything happen. I just knew that it was going to happen. And
Guys,
I think that's it. I think that's it. There's other stuff, but then basically I became an artist myself and like started performing on stage and like, letting people hear my spoken word and music.
guys, I literally have nothing else to say. I literally have nothing else to say. Like mic drop, just end the show. All right, thank you. We'll see you next week. I mean, it's just amazing to see how everything that has transpired from then. Because again, I remember our conversation back in 2021. It was yourself and Randall, and it was just Rise. At
Mhm.
the moment, it was just Rise. So to hear it was like, okay, I was doing Rise to now you got Madewell. Now you got PDA Global. Now you got Art Crib Uncut. And also you're doing music as well, your poems. And I forgot to mention you have a book as well. Like again, it's
Sean,
just
you're
been
the best. I have a book.
yeah. So
I have a
like
book. I have a book.
yeah, talk a bit more about the book. You know what's going on with the book?
Okay, so this book, I'm so glad that you brought this up. And yes, this is like now what I realized is that after my friend passed away, then I had a very like scary time. Last year especially. Like I've always gone through health challenges in my life. I have this invisible, I'll say it's a disability that just has like followed me throughout my whole life, and sometimes it will come back and like flare up and it will cause like major downtime. I've had it under control for a lot of years, like through mindfulness, yoga, cutting out like a million things out of my diet, figuring out what is really for me and what serves me. I had this formula down, but all of a sudden at like I would say the peak of like my awesomeness, like everything was just like going so well in the summertime last year, honestly, just around this time. So very, very precarious like right now because I don't want to go back there. But what ended up happening is that I ended up being hospitalized. I got this illness. It was something that was very basic, I guess I'll say. Like a lot of people also go through it. But for some reason, as I said, I've always had this kind of weakened immune system. And I've always just had these health challenges my whole life that have changed the way that I have to do things. And so in that time when that happened, I had all these dates set up. Like I like this tour that I'm doing right now, why I'm like pushing it the way that I am, why I'm pushing this book, like why I'm doing everything all at once at the same damn time is because I know that life is short and there's many of us who didn't wake up this morning, and I know that I came very close to being one of those people. Not only, yes, I went to the hospital, but then the illness just kept coming back. And basically from June until December, and maybe even up to the beginning of this year, even up to last month, I was still dealing with the recovery of that. I spent like almost 3 months in the hospital if you add it all up. And yeah, just had these extended stays where I could not do anything except for write, and sometimes I couldn't even write because of how sick I was. And all I could do was think. Like all I had was my thoughts and my words to keep me going. And so I poured it all into this book now. I was part of this like photo journalism course. So this is like the cover. I just like brought this out. This was the original cover. And it's called Lift Yourself Over Negativity, Live Like an Lyon, which is my kind of lion, as y'all know. And so I turned my name into an acronym inspired by RISE, which means reaching intelligent souls everywhere. Also, acronyms really help me to remember things. So um, it stays in my mind. And so I just turned my name into an acronym and I turned it into an entire brand. And I created this series of books, which are my poetry, prose, and lyrics, but I believe that words are spells. And so I've turned this into a poetry spell book, meaning that yes, my poems are there. These are the spells that help me to live like a lion and the ones that I hope will help you lift yourself over negativity. And it also, because I love journaling and I love writing, and that's what really brought me here, I really want to give that gift away to other people who are looking for a way to express themselves. And this book will write back to you. So not only do you get to read my words, hear my words, because you get to hear some audios as well, but you also get to write your own words. And I hope that this will become for people the beginning of their own book, because I think we should all write a book before we get out of here, because it's like the
Yeah.
only thing that will be left when you're not. And so that's why I was like, yep, gotta write a book.
That's a fair point. And again, just amazing how much you've been able to do. And I asked the question about how did every experience add a bit more value to your artistic and
Oh yeah,
professional portfolio? But here's the thing. I feel like you kind of answered it. It was just how could I continue to be that person that gives more value in every scenario, whether it was Rise, whether it was PDA or Madewell or our Crib Uncut. It's that value aspect that you really are trying to give. It's not this selfish, egotistic, like, oh, I'm doing this for me. I mean, obviously, yes, we want to do stuff for ourselves because sometimes it brings us a self level of joy, but at the same time, I'm trying to see how I can serve others, serve my community, serve people that are also involved in this situation or in this partnership, or the case may be. So I think you did kind of answer like that second question. Like I'm adding value. Like that's the important thing.
I'm so glad you said that because that is really the basis foundation for everything. Something that Randall says, and I believe it comes from Mother Teresa, is that if you feel lost, that the way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. And that is exactly what I did, and it has continued to serve me to lose myself in the service of other people. I know a lot of people be asking like, why are you always doing stuff for other people? It helps me to help them. Why would I not help other people? I just don't see actually why other people can't see that if you help other people, it will help you. Like, I don't
Mhm.
go out there thinking like, how will Sean help me in 5 years? But I know, look at us now, Sean. Like back then when, it wasn't all this, and I think you had a tape recorder or something like that, and like it was a much different setup, but I just believed in what you were trying to do. I thought it was so awesome that you were giving of your time and interviewing people so they could share their stories, and you were setting up the platform so they feel cool and everything, and it could be shared in a medium that other people would care about. And that's why I said yes. Like I know that you know, I know where you were at, but I also believed in where you could go. And so I'm glad this moment I'm going to remember it, committing it to memory. This is what happens when you serve the community. It serves you.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Listen, when I got started, I got a $20 mic from Winners.
I remember you told me,
Boy, boy, we have gone, we have made
look at that mic.
progress since
What's that
then.
mic now? How is
That
that
this
mic?
this that yeah, listen, it's so expensive. I can't even say the price. I can't
Yes,
even
yes,
say the
yes.
price. uh anyway, for those who have been listening to the conversation since the start, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all for real. For those engaged in the comments, I appreciate y'all even more. I appreciate y'all even more. But if you are just coming in, you're tuning in to the Safe Room here on Love Bay Radio. We're here with Miss Elle de Lyon, Elle the Lion, the ferocious lion. And listen, we've been having a fantastic conversation. We have been just talking about the amazing work you've been doing, Elle, just your personal story, how you've grown over these adversities, just how you've been able to be such a powerhouse at what you do. And I want to get into my next question. And you were talking about how you're not only looking to be like just an artist, but also like an entrepreneur, like be your own businesswoman. And I know sometimes you'll do workshops, and sometimes the workshops you'll do will be related to maybe grant writing. And this is for people who, again, when it comes to grant writing, it's a scary sight. Like even for me, like I get nervous. I'm like, I'm currently applying for a grant right now, and it's just like, whoa, child, the stress is there. But I mean, I wanted to ask you, just being able that you've been able to teach so much workshops on grants and how to write grants and elevate your pitch. What are some important tips for artists or creatives that they can use to nail those grant applications and be able to hopefully get those opportunities for funding or certain resources? Because I know it could be very stressful. It could be very nerve wracking. So, like, what are some tips you think you could share for anyone who's watching right now, how they can nail their applications for grants?
Yeah, that's a great question. One of the things I really love to share about is how can you get the resources that you need for your projects, especially creative projects. And one of the things, I guess my number one tip, it's really simple and something I see a lot of people skip. I skipped it too a lot, but what has made me very successful is copying and pasting the entire application before putting it onto a document and working from that document. Why is this so important? Why do I think this will help you to nail that grant? Because when you are able to see your work visually laid out that way, instead of like linearly, like, you know, in little boxes in the application form, it changes the way that you view the possibilities of your project and like where it can go. It also allows you to really make sure that you are aligning your project plan with your budget. And that's where most people fail. It's just like you're mentioning things in your budget that you never mentioned in your project plan, or vice versa. You're saying that you're having support from certain people, but you don't have like the support letters to back it up, or there's no proof of how that support is going to come. So support letters is huge as well. The documents are everything, is really what I'm saying. Like organization of these documents in advance will help to alleviate anxiety. Taking action alleviates anxiety. That's one of my catchphrases, sharing it with everyone here. You must take action on the things that you're worried about. You're worried about like the overwhelmingness of this, how many questions there are. Let's see how many questions there really are. Put it on that document and like give yourself an opportunity to count yourself in. Because I think when you take a look at it and you don't see all those like little elements that are actually involved and that you can actually be successful at, that's when, you know, people count themselves out. They're like, no, no, no. Oh my God, look how many questions there are. Oh, what? I have to press next on this application? No, I'm not doing it. Sometimes like I've psyched myself out of things that were actually they were pretty simple. Like I did have the support letters, I did have the proof of concepts. Like I could have got that grant. I actually missed a deadline today at 1 p.m. But anyways, you know, we keep going. We keep going.
That's fair. That's fair. I'm seeing in the chat.
Ooh,
Congrats on your book. Where can they get a copy? So, I mean, you want to
yes.
share?
Oh my God. Yo, universe is on my side, y'all. Thank you, Karina. So, this first book, oh, hey, Mike. So, this first book will be available May 31st. I'm going to be debuting it at the Black Book Lounge. That's BLK Book Lounge. You do want to pull up to this event. It's going to be uh a plethora of amazing Black authors who are also going to be showcasing their work. It's a Black book lounge. So this means that it's going to be a little bit different than just a typical like vending market. It's going to be really sophisticated. There's going to be speakers, performers. I'm going to be performing and speaking about my book and reading from it. And I'll be signing the book. And also, it's interesting. I have to tell this story real quick. So I was actually supposed to debut this book yesterday, but I don't know if everyone knows, Bell Canada had this huge glitch, and my Wi-Fi, my home Wi-Fi, my cell phone, everything is with Bell. And actually the glitch happened 1 kilometer from my house. I didn't know like the tower that fell or whatever that's not working. It was like down the street from me. So everything was not working by me, right? And I was in the middle of printing out my book and sending it to the printer and doing all those things. And the night before, I said, do it in the morning. Like, let yourself have some sleep. Don't worry. Go to bed. I went to bed, woke up to this glitch. Nothing's working. I was like, I had to eat all my words. That's what I have to say. Like, I had to really read every single thing that I ever wrote to myself, which is all about lifting yourself over negativity, to remind myself that whatever is happening is meant to happen and that I can get through this. I wasn't able to go to the event and debut the book, couldn't print it out and the things I wanted to have there. I also, I don't share this a lot with people, but I'm not directionally like that is one of my weakest skills. Okay. I get everywhere with GPS. There was no way I was getting to this event without my phone in my hand to tell me how to get there. And so all of these things combined, I was like, all right, we gotta chill on this one. And one of my tour dates did not come true, which really disappointed me. But I also really learned that I do not align with glitches. I align with growth. And I really leaned into how was this growing through this challenge? Like, what could I learn from this? It helped me to like really pour more energy into this copy and really make it purposeful, intentional for the 31st. And so I'm telling you all of this because you should come out to May 31st. It's an incredible story how all of this has even come together. And I've poured it all into this first spell book because I really want to inspire people that you can go through the hardest things in your life and you could come out on top. Like being the underdog is how you make it to being the top dog. And so I'm really happy with everything that has happened, even the things that I did not plan.
Yeah, I absolutely love that. So again, guys, you can get your book May 31st. You can get your copy there. And and even to just add quickly, I always have a saying to myself, there's a time and place for everything. So even though things didn't happen originally, it's not because it's like it was never meant to happen. It's just not going to happen at this moment, but it will happen at another moment.
Exactly, exactly. And May 31st is that moment. And if for some reason you can't come out to May 31st, right now on my website, www.iamldeleon.com. You can pre-save the book and I will send it to you when it's all ready to be sent out. So the first copies will be available May 31st and I hope to see some of y'all there, and also DM me. We'll talk about it. You want to write your own book? Let's talk. Book of session with me at PDA. That's what I do. Help you write grants, all that.
Yes, absolutely. And I really appreciate all the advice and tips for the grants. I think those are super important for anyone listening. So I hope you guys got the message there. And I see even more messages in the chat in terms of just I see Chanel says
Oh,
we need a grant writing tip book. So that might
thank
have to be a possibility. And I see some more from Stephen Kingston. Thanks for your story. You're an inspiration for our community to come out and speak about the adversities they have faced. So there's a lot of love in the comments.
I appreciate y'all so much. All the way from Jamaica. Shout out to Love Bay Online Radio, like
The
streaming to
connections
all
are
the
deep.
countries. I
The
love it. I love
connections are
it.
definitely deep for sure. So Elle, I want to go into the next question, and this time I want to move into more of like the spoken word territory. So, like you mentioned, like there's Elle de Lyon, but there's also Elle the Lion. So, like,
True.
what's the persona behind there? Like, and what's the balance you find through like spoken word, being able to just be another version of yourself when you're on the mic and you're speaking your truth?
So for me, I'm actually, and I know I'm not showing it today, but I'm actually really, I would say, I'm self-conscious. I grew up being told I was very shy, but I think I'm very self-conscious. So I think a lot before I express myself. And I think that that's the difference between Elle de Leon and Elle the Lion. Elle the Lion just says it. Like she's like my inner child. She's like the girl I was, that rebel, but I have a cause now. And Elle Deleon, she's a little bit more like calm and cool, collected because she likes to think a little bit more before she says things. Very mindful, very demure. Yeah. I think that's the difference between the two. And I channel both of them on the stage. I channel both of them because I feel that balance really helps me to connect with people.
100%. And I feel like again, we all need that inner persona sometimes. Again, I guess for me, like you have Sean Williams, that's a little bit more on the open, more bubbly side, whereas like the president persona, it's a little bit more of that prerogative, like he's here, like he's in the building and he's here to make a statement, you know. So I feel like that's everyone needs that little alter ego in a way to get through. I also see there's still people messaging about the book launch. It's like,
I
what's the address?
know.
Listen, Elle's
Y'all
like,
are
she's
so
loving
excited.
it. She's
So
loving
excited.
it.
I am because as I told you, like, oh man, y'all, I will tell y'all the story one day when I would love to share the process of what I go through to make all these things happen. And that's why I'm so glad we got to talk today, Sean, so I could tell these stories. I don't tell them enough online. One day I hope to have enough time to do that. That's what I don't have time to do. I really don't have time to sit in like the drama, but I do want people to know about the process because you really have to trust it and hold on to your vision. And I'm just so glad that people are seeing the vision. Let's definitely chat. Hit me up on my socials and we can talk more about the address and where to get the book and all of that. Like I am friendly, but I am a lion. That's all.
Listen, like she mentioned, she's in her soft and ruthless era. Okay,
It's real. Like it's real.
100%. Okay, so I don't want to put you on the spot right now, but I feel like I think you'll like this. It's just like You think we could get a little bit of a spoken word performance? I know Chanel was asking about we need a little 1-2 freestyles. I don't know if you have anything tucked in the bag that you want to let go.
I feel like it would be remiss if I did not do my first single. This is what really pushed me, and it's the words that I repeat to myself over and over again. I'll do a little bit of my poem Enough. Obviously, you can listen to the full thing. It's a single that I finally released this year, and you can hear it in its full glory. But here's some a cappella for you. And this is Enough. I wrote it because I wasn't feeling like it, and I wrote it to my inner child. So it's called Paula's Interlude, a disruption to negativity.
All right.
The only thing that's keeping you from getting you what you want is the story you keep telling you. If you change everything you say to you, then everything you say and do will change for you. The only thing you can change when you can't change where you at, perspective on what you have and how you think what's good is bad. When sometimes good is just what's familiar. Comfort to a fool like clouds lined with silver. And sometimes the things you think that are bad are really good things that you never had. And what is truly valuable is how you know which way to go, how you know which do's or don'ts, and how you find the will to won't stay within your comfort zone and be your own detective, inspector of conceptions that misdirect the senses and critical deceptions you believed were senseless, but you still accepted. And if you accepted, then you can reject it. Your mistakes are only a reflection of who you were, and they are not directions to where you're headed. You can still be everything you want to be and nothing they expected. Your mistakes are only a reflection of who you were, and they are not directions to where you're headed. You can still go everywhere you want to go and nowhere they expected. For too long, you put their feelings about you before your feelings about yourself. And these feelings became thoughts and they dwelled. These feelings, they got caught and they swelled. And these feelings, they flow right over your well. No, you are not well. Yes, you are up the creek without a paddle. And no paddle, now you're up the creek. And then they herded you from cattle because you acted like a sheep. Someone who is strong but acts like they are weak. You're following along and you're pretending to be someone who they're not, someone happy. You put yourself down to bring others up. You pour into them till you emptied your cup. And now you're so thirsty, deserted by love. Somehow you're still drowning, don't feel like enough. But you are more than a dysregulated nervous system rooted in unhealed trauma. This is how many stay reeling in drama. You thought you was a period, you're really a comma. And the best is yet to come should really be your mantra. And the thing you need to tell yourself is what you tell your daughter, your son, or your sister, or your mother, or your father. This is what I mean when I say, let's heal ancestral trauma. Scars on the pretty things. Let's put away the petty things. I'm letting go of anything that keeps me from discovering I am less than everything the world has left to offer. I am enough in the skin I am in. I am enough in the skin I am in. I am enough in the skin I am in, and everything that I want in this life I can win. I'm the master of my mind. The alchemist is I, and I decide to define how I live by my design. And so the only thing that's keeping you from getting you what you want is the story you keep telling you. And if you change everything that you say to you, then everything you say and do will change for you.
My word, my word. So okay, so first things first, the fact that you kept going and like it was real. It was raw. Like even like the coughing, like it was raw. That's one.
Yeah.
Number two, just the bars, the alliteration, the homophobe. Listen, I feel like we gotta do like smack you are like da 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 Don DeMarco bang bang. It's like that. Like that's what I'm feeling. Like the energy is up. I love that. I love that.
I only fight with words. I only fight with words.
Yes, and I'm
That's
seeing
what
even Love Base coming in with the chat. Congrats, Elle. ELLEvate would purchase a copy of your book. Listen,
I want to shout out Love Bay because they believed in me. Like, you know, they saw something in me from like I was behind the scenes actually that day. I just had to go on the mic to tell like one or two people to go where they had to go. And they saw me and they were like, yo, you should be the voice of the millennials. And I want to thank you for that because that really started, I don't know, it really started me to believe in me that I was meant to be on the stage. I didn't know if I really believed it at that time. So thank you.
100%. And what a phenomenal performance again, Elle. That was absolutely amazing. Thank you for sharing. And listen, for those who aren't tapped in and aren't listening, listen, I got it downloaded on my phone. I have your song downloaded on my phone. I know you can't really see through the screen, but I got it downloaded. So, like, listen, tapped in already. I'm already tapped in.
I appreciate y'all. It's a whole affirmation in a song, and I really wrote it in a song format so that you could listen to it over and over and over again and get from it what I did, which is this like unyielding inner strength. Y'all saw it. I promise I didn't make up those coughs. Like I couldn't believe that was happening too. I was like, I can't believe this is happening right now. But
It's
then
real. It's
in my head, I
real.
was like, girl, do you believe in these words you're saying though? You gonna stop? Are you gonna give up? Or are you gonna grow? Are you gonna give up? Are you gonna grow? Don't let up. Don't let up. Yeah.
I
I
love that.
really big lessons. Thank you.
Yes, 100%. Okay, well, I got one more thing to do. One more tucked in my sleeve, but again, I'm just making sure I'm reading all the messages in the chat. I'm seeing my children are watching and inspired by your, oh my gosh, just
What the
the
kids? That's who I do it for real, y'all.
we
I
do
do
it
it
for
for
the
the kids.
kids.
That's
Yes.
who it's for. That's who it's for.
Absolutely. I see Shana also commented authenticity. Yes, authentic at its finest. We love to see it. But we got the closing activity. Now, for those who know, when it comes to the closing activity, I can be a little, I would say reckless, but it's like it's literally either the day of or the day before I come up with the activity. This time I actually came prepared. I came a week prepared. So I don't want no one coming
Okay.
after me saying like, oh, like Sean, here we go. Shush, shush, respectfully shush. I'm ready now. So listen, Elle,
Mhm,
I have something special here. I want you to guess the artist based on the songs I'm going to list to you.
mhm.
Now,
Oh, I
I
have to
will
guess the artist?
yes, based
Okay.
on but I will give you a freebie because you've been such an amazing guest, right? Half of these artists are people who have performed at, at least at a Rise event.
Oh my god,
Anyway,
I love this, Sean. You came prepared. Okay.
right? So I like
Okay.
I said, half of them. The other half is like more like notable artists. So I want to test your skill because number one, we're gonna see if you really are tapped in with the Rise
Let's
community.
see.
Because if listen, if you fail and you can't name some of these Rise
Sean, you're gonna
artists,
come for me. They're gonna come for me. There's
listen,
people in the chat. They're from Jamaica. Okay, we got this. We got
we'll
this.
see again. I want to see. Do you know your Rise artists more? Do you know more of the more notable names? We're gonna see. We're gonna
Mm,
test your knowledge.
okay, I am a community girly. I'm gonna say that right off the bat. I have confidence in myself.
Guys, any Rise artists who's listening, else under the hot seat. Just letting you know right now.
Here we
No,
go.
I believe you. I believe in you, Al. I do believe in you. Okay. All right.
Let's see.
So I'm gonna list 3 songs, and I'm just gonna say all at once, and I want you to again guess the artist. I'll give you 3 guesses. Three
Okay.
guesses for each. Okay. So we're gonna start off easy. This one is gonna be like the biggest like alley oop because I feel like this one you should get off the bounce. Okay. So the first 3 songs, or the 3 songs, are Bounce, Hero, and Chest.
Say it with your chest. That's my boy SRE from Scarborough. Now,
Hmm.
sorry, actually.
Sorry, not sorry. Nah.
Sorry, not sorry. Yes, that's my
Hmm.
boy. Love that kid.
Yes. Shout out to Sorry because I know just recently he won something very very special. You
He
know.
did. He won our Rise and Flow competition. This was our second time doing it. And out of 200 applicants in the GTA, he emerged victorious. So proud of him also because he was also one of the artists in our first artist development program that we launched in 2022. And so really just like, I love seeing people grow. That's like my favorite thing. I would have been a gardener if, you know, I liked being outside and wasn't allergic to everything.
100%, 100%. Okay, so you got that one. Okay, so like again, we did the rise artists. Now we're gonna do more of a more notable artist. Again, not the rise. We're switching gears. Okay, so here we go. The 3 songs are Reincarnated, Loyalty, and Money Trees.
Okay, that's my boy Kendrick Lamar.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
K Dot.
Big inspiration. You are right, K Dot. That's when I was like, he was my everything. Like, yeah, still is. You know, he won. Come on, yo, let's.
It's like, listen, I understand Drake's Canadian, but he won the beef. He won,
and Drake was my #1 artist. Not gonna lie to you, he was my #1 on Spotify, like in 2023 or 2022. But like, I can't even listen to him anymore. Like, he disgusts me. I'm sorry.
Guys.
No, okay, that Where the Function, that song is pretty dope. That was a
Nokia's a low-key slapper.
That's it. Thank you. I didn't even know what it's called.
Yes, yeah, I feel you. I see more people jumping in the chat. Elle, you are a celeb, an undiscovered gem. Watch out, world. Coming to I love it. Everyone's getting
and actually coming to Montreal and Ottawa. You are right. We're making that happen right now. Actually, today I was talking about that. So watch out for me.
Absolutely. Okay. All right. So you're going well. You're going well so far. Let's go on to the next one. Okay. So we're referring back to the rise artist. Okay. We're going back to that row. So the 3 songs: Broken, Blue Moon, and Joy.
Uh-oh.
Don't remember, you have 3 guesses, so like,
I know,
no
but I
pressure.
want to get every single one right. Okay. Could I know? No. We won't do that. Fine. Okay. Could I know what kind of genre of music they do?
R&B. I'll say that. R&B. This artist can definitely dive into other genres as well, but I would say like predominantly R&B.
Okay. And what was the name of the songs again? One more time. And then I will answer, I promise.
Yeah. Broken, Blue Moon, and Joy.
All right. My first guess is this is so hard. I don't want to get this wrong. Okay, my bad. Let's go with wow, like it's so hard for names to come to mind right now. R&B. Oh my god. Okay, Liza Plaza.
It's not Liza Plaza, no.
Okay.
So that's your first guess.
Are they kind of like Eliza? Okay. A rise artist? And like when you say a rise artist, this is like we've booked them.
You've booked them. Like they perform at least like a rise event, a function, whatever the case may be. That's what I would say.
They have songs out. They are an R&B artist. Man, is there any other hints?
I mean, like, okay. I feel like, listen, you might.
Aaron Ridge?
It's not.
Sasha.
You know what? I was gonna give you another hint. It was a female. So
okay,
it's a female. That's the best I can give you.
And they do R&B. Roshanak?
It's not Roshanak. So that was 3 guesses. Elle, I think you're gonna hate yourself. It's Zen Soul.
Oh man, I guess I just didn't know the names of her tracks.
Yeah. So it's okay. Sorry. It's okay. We
actually, I would say Zen is more like a neo soul. No.
Well, yeah. So yeah.
Those are good.
That's why I say like that's why I said they could dive into different genres. I said like R&B or like neo soul, but they
That was
can
a good one,
definitely.
Sean. That was a
Mhm.
good one. I
Okay,
love how
okay.
yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah. Don't worry. I believe you're gonna get the next ones. Okay, we're gonna go back now to a more notable artist. Okay,
Okay.
so we have here are the three songs: "Fallen," "No One," and "Unthinkable."
Did you say Falling?
Yes,
Alicia
"Fallen."
Keys.
It is Alicia Keys.
Okay, yes, because I'm like Unthinkable. Yep, I know that one. Check. Love her.
Okay. Things are looking good. Okay, so far, like you're doing good, but right now the count is you only got one of the Rise
I
artists right,
know.
and you got two of the notables. So it's
I said I was a community girly, so is there any chance for me to redeem myself right now?
we got two more. We got two
Okay,
more.
here we go.
So
We
again,
go.
one more for the Rise side and another one for the more notable side. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna go to the Rise, switching back. So the three songs are "Timeout," "City Blues," and "Flowers."
This is my boy Toby.
Yep, it's
Right
Toby.
away, right away, right away. Yeah.
There
He
we
big
go.
inspiration to me. Huge inspiration to me. Such an incredible artist. And I know people say this about some people, but he is like the epitome of humble to me. Like, never met anybody like more cool and calm and collected who is so talented at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. I got the chance to meet him once, and like you describe him perfectly, like super humble in what he does, and he's
Yeah,
so talented.
just so calm with it. And he just released a new track, y'all. So please go or a new video, and it looks so good.
Tap in for sure. Okay, so we're at the final artist again, a more notable artist. So the three songs are "Forever," "With You," and "Privacy."
Chris Brown.
It is Chris Brown.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay. I don't even like. I do love Chris, but not like his. But I was like, wait, with you and privacy. What was the first one you said?
"Forever."
That one I didn't. I don't know. It didn't stick out to me. But the other two, I was like, okay, is it my boy CB?
So that yeah. So listen, you did good. You went 5 for 6. I mean, the Zen Soul was like the tricky one, but I mean, listen,
Oh,
I
Zen.
don't think Scarborough's gonna hold that against you. They're like, listen, we still love Elle. We still love her.
Exactly. Scarborough
Uh,
will love me. I don't know about Brampton, but I did say Toby. So come on, y'all.
that's true. That's true. But yeah, that's everything I have for today, Elle. Again, thank you so much for coming on the Safe Room. It was fantastic having you here. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for being yourself and coming on, bringing that amazing energy and positivity to the conversation. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Sean. I'm so incredibly proud of you as well on your appointment as, the president, but also as the host, the voice of the millennials for the show that's on July 12th. Passing the torch over and be there in person. It would be lovely to come back and just thank you for this opportunity.
Yeah, 100%,
We have the best
100%.
audience, by the way. Shout out to the audience.
Yes, shout out to the audience. Always interactive every single week, no matter who we have. I appreciate y'all. Elle, just quickly, where can people find you on social media?
Yeah, so you can find me at my name, ELLEDELYON. That's on everything, TikTok, YouTube, all of it. And then my website is my name.com.
Perfect. Again, thank you so much, Elle. Thank you to everyone listening to the Safe Room this week. You can find me on Instagram at the Safe Room Official. You want to follow my personal page, the President of TO. I know I've been a little quiet on the personal page, but because I'm cooking something. I'm cooking something
Hey,
special.
let them
Listen,
cook, y'all. Let them cook.
let him cook. Let him cook. And I do want to share this as well. It was just last week. I celebrated actually 5 years since I dropped my first episode for the Safe Room. So 5 years of the Safe Room. It's a huge accomplishment, and I might be doing something very soon in terms of like an in-person celebration. So for those in the city of Toronto, like keep an eye out for that. I don't usually do anything in terms of a celebration, but this time around, I might do something. So you want to keep your eyes out for that. And again, please come out July 12th for the Voice of the Millennials event. Again, I'll be co-hosted with Kemi Famous. It's going to be a fantastic conversation. Speakers, dance, food, beverages, entertainment. We're giving out scholarships to students as well. So you want to come out to this. It's going to be a vibe, 10 out of 10. Absolute banger. So again, July 12th, Voice of Millennials. Make sure you pop out. But until then, please come back next week to listen to your favorite show here on Love Bay Radio. Until then, we'll see you guys next time.
See you next time. And go out to the event. I'm going to donate some books. So you'll get some giveaways.
100%. 100%. Thank you, Elle.
Bye, y'all. Peace.